What regionalization means to us as meter reading is that we'll be able to read one region, which means that all the suburbs are actually grouped in one area and complete that reading cycle before we move to another. And I think that's what makes it exciting.
What the outgoing process has been doing is that we have been sending meter readers, yes, which could be twice to the same property. So the customer would experience two different meter reading dates. So in this particular case, regionalization will compact those services into one particular reading time, where all the meter readers will go and obtain the readings at the same time to enable us to process the billing at the certain particular billing scheduled date.
One of the biggest challenges customers had was the inconsistency of readings that appears. Sometimes you think we're billing you on the first, sometimes we're billing you on the second and things like that. But this particular project will actually allow both City Power and the city to be consistent in terms of the consumptions.
And it will also give us a better understanding as to what is the performance of our regions, how many properties do we have per region, and what type of properties are those, and what is the billing accuracy in terms of the read rate and things like that in terms of the billing.
The metro is divided in 7 regions, and billing-related activities will now be organized and grouped according to these areas. Regionalization is also about being more customer-centric and streamlined.
We have realized that customers have a challenge in terms of the set due dates for them, being it that they do receive their income in different dates. Customers have now the opportunity to select their own preferred due dates, which will make it simpler for them to adhere to their obligation in terms of adhering to the municipal accounts. The beauty of the regionalized and the preferred due date will actually give the city a better understanding of the citizens' capability and performance and adherence to the obligations of the city. And we see that as a way of also giving feedback to the customers and in fact promoting that customers come forward and select their own preferred due dates. What we are trying to do as the city is to ensure that we improve the customer experience. We want to understand what is it that is entailed or is comprised in our regions, to say ultimately we want to understand how many hospitals are in region A, how many shopping centers, how many hotels, how many schools, so that we can do continuous improvement from all areas of the city, being the planning department, our infrastructure, the Joburg, the City Power, and ultimately the revenue department as well.
This new approach requires a realignment of account volumes, preparation and coordination.
We are currently busy with the files. We are testing the files in terms of how are we going to receive the files from our different entities. And by the 1st of February, the billing will be relevant to the new schedule. And by that, we mean that we will be sending files to our meter readers, which is City Power and Joburg, to go and read according to regions.
From the meter readers, they're actually excited about the drive itself of us regionalizing, because it's now focused, but it will also give them an opportunity to manage their staff well, because as they do meter reading, they pick up exceptions, which requires them to go back in certain instances and check what the actual person wrote.
And we have our teams from the call centers that are ready to take the calls and amend the due dates for customers. We have our walk-in centers as well, and we have our IT department as well, where they have prepared the system for us in order to accommodate the new process. And we are readily excited and awaiting regionalization, and we can't wait.
Joburgers will be able to start changing their due dates from the 1st of February, while the city will release more information and schedules on various platforms this week. Marisa de Klerk, Joburg Today.